Hi. Today I thought I would take you through some behind the scenes work as I'm doing it. So, right now I am at the point with my Patreon collections for Touches of Austin that I need to upload the last book. So, I thought I'd give you some of the behind the scenes look at some of the things that I go through to get that book onto Patreon for my patrons, my paid patrons to read. Okay, so I'm starting out here on this screen with Bookbrush. It is a graphics creator, and I have one that I've used for another graphic that I'm just going to reuse part of it so that it's a little bit easier. I don't have to come up with the new design. I want the design to be the same. The final book in this collection is His Sensible Heart, so I need that. I need to change the background. So let's pick a color. Should we go really dark or should we do muted, more muted? I apologize for the noises that you might be hearing right now because the heater, the heat pump, has kicked in. It is a cold day here in Nova Scotia. I don't remember what the temperature is, but I know it's not warm. Definitely not warm. I don't want that to be. I kind of want it to be more purpley. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. Okay. Now I want to change the words, so I'll click on this square, and then I'll have to go over here. Let's see. What are we going to say? He's always been all about himself until he met her. There, that sounds, that kind of summarizes what happens in this story. Miles has always been very much about himself and pleasing his father. And then he meets Charlotte and things change. I don't want to give away too much. Now I want to, well, let's say this. So His Sensible Heart. That way if I need to make changes to it later, I can. I'm going to download it as a JPEG. All right, and once I have that ready, then I can start working on uploading things to, why isn't that closing? My computer's being slow. There we go. I'm going to close this because I don't need it open right now, and I give me a few more resources for other things. Okay, that's the document I'm going to need in a minute. Over here on the Patreon site, this is the back end of it. This is where you do your typing and creating of any posts that you post on here. So we are going to create the final post for it. Oh, I do need this first. Okay, first thing that I need to do is I need to note that there are 15 chapters. And then on this little notepad, I am going to write down chapters 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 to 12, and 13 to 15. That way, when I get them done, I'll cross them off and hopefully won't forget where I am. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that I know we're going to need when we get to creating our document is I know I'm going to want the copyright at the end of the story. That's where I've been putting them. So I'm going to come down a couple. I think that was, wait, did I count 6 or 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like 7. I don't know why. I just like 7. It's what I've been using, so I kind of like to keep it consistent. we left a space up here so that I can put, let's see, previous, I might as well just do it now. Chapters, oh, don't need to capitalize that. Can be found here. And I'll write them in here. Chapters 1 through 4, chapters 5 through 8, chapters 9 to 12. And I don't need the other one because that's what this one will be. And then I'll put in the image that we just created and downloaded. Got lots of images here, so I need to actually get them organized. I always end up with everything, you know, kind of stuck in my, oh, come on. There we go. Stuck in my download folder and needing to be sorted, and then I never get around to it, or rarely get around to it, which is not good. I have a mess. All right, there we are. We're going to check. I should have put in the title already. I haven't yet, which is kind of backwards. I should have done that first, but we'll put the title of the Sensible Heart. We'll go there. Touches of Boston. It's kind of an enemies to lovers because she does not like him at first at all. And then redeemed hero or heroine, definitely. There is a bit of a compromise in it, or at least a rumor of a compromise in it, that is spurring the forced betrothal, although it's not. I'm going to put forced betrothal, even though it's not really a betrothal. It's a, if you can prove yourself, then sure, I'll accept you. It doesn't matter if Mr. Wesley's daughter's reputation is in danger. He's not going to marry her off to just anyone. He's a very good dad. Unfortunately, Miles's father is not good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on this one, open it up. This is what the posts look like when you're reading them. I want to save myself a little bit of typing. So I know that this is not the right title, but that's okay. I will change it when I get it over here. A Sensible Heart. This is book 6, which is the final one so far. I would maybe like to write more in this series one day, but I haven't done it yet. So for now, this is the end. Okay, so we're going to go to there. These chapters 1 to 4 and all those, they'll have links added to them, but I'll show you that at the end. That'll be a while before we get to that. So then we go over here. Needed one more space there. And it was chapters 13 to 15. So I'm going to go down to chapter 13. And I'm just going to scroll down to the very bottom. This is one of my favorites in this series. I like all the stories, and I really like book number 5. It was where I had to take a character that I had made really awful, and I had to make her into a sympathetic character that could be worthy of her own happily ever after in the minds of a reader. So that was kind of a fun challenge, and it was a book where I really had to go deep into emotions to do it. And then this one, again, I had to kind of take a character that's not terribly likable, make you like him, because I had to make Ms. Wesley, Charlotte, like him too. Miles really turned out to be a fun character, so I'm going to copy that and I'd like to paste it here. Okay, I already double checking up here just to make sure I had done it. Of course I had done it. We were just talking about it. But sometimes I have to recheck things. It's just the way my brain works. So we'll scroll down through here, make sure nothing looks too weird. And yep, our chapters are highlighted as far as I could tell. There's our copyright. I don't need anything else. No. So I'll go over to the next page. This is where I get to decide who gets to see it. It's for paid members only. Set a release date. Nope, I don't need to do any of that. I'm not selling the post. You can sell posts. You can sell collections too. I'm not going to do that because who wants to buy just one piece of a book? Although I know that my son reads on some apps where you pay for the chapters as you go. I'm not doing that. Okay. On this one, where it says allow members to be notified when this post is published, I'm going to click no for now because I won't notify members of the publishing of the chapters until I get to chapters 1 through 4. Then I'll send out that first one because that's where you want to start reading anyway. You don't want to start reading with the last 3 chapters of the book. All right, so then I will do publish. And the post is live, but it hasn't been sent out as a notice, so it shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't confuse anyone. I need to just fix up this up here. And that is how I would do one of the posts. Now there are 3 other posts that I need to make, and I'm just going to, it's going to get boring to see me repeat that many times. So I'm just going to click off for now. And I will come back when I am ready to clue everything up and send out that first chapter post. So I'll be back in a bit. Welcome back. I've gotten to chapters 1 through 4 now, so we are going to do this one similar to what we did before. We're going to drop a line. We are going to put in our picture that goes with this, the graphic that goes with it. Got to wait for it to pop up there and then confirm. We are going to put it in the collection Touches of Austin. We are going to add in our tags. Enemies delivered, redeemed hero in this case. Forced betrothal, we'll put it with that. And this is just so people can kind of filter out the types of stories they'd like to see. I did think of one that we didn't put on the first one we did. I'll have to go back in and put that, but parental disapproval is a big thing, big trope in this story. Okay, so we are ready to put in our chapters. So over here, I just finished with chapter 5. So then I'll just start and I'll go up from there. And I usually watch over here. Oh, now that I took my finger off that. I'll watch over on this left side and watch for, it tells me how close I'm getting to where I need to stop. So it'll turn blue as we get to each of the chapters. It's scrolling a little bit slower than I would like it to be. There's a great contrast in this book between a good father and a dreadful father. Miles's father is horrible. He is a narcissist of the first order, and Mr. Wesley is completely the opposite, and Miles actually doesn't know what a good father is until he meets Mr. Wesley, and he's surprised by how Mr. Wesley is, and really looks up to him. So it's fun to see the relationship between Charlotte and Miles. I put those two together, not Charles. That's what happened. Um, to see that relationship develop, but it's even, I don't know, a little bit more interesting to see the relationship between Mr. Wesley and Miles develop as well. All right, so I'll put that in there. What I didn't get to show you on the last one is you come down to the bottom. I don't think I did anyway. Then we put continue reading here. And then we'll go over to chapters 5 through 8, and we're going to grab the link to that one. And we're going to make sure we stick it in here so that when you get done reading chapter 4, you don't have to look for the next chapter section. It's right there. You can just click right on over to it. Okay. So now we need to fill in this top part where I left this blank, because we don't need to tell them where to find the previous chapters because there are no previous chapters. Here's where we need to put some information about the series and the story. So I'm going to copy what I had for book 5 because it saves me some thinking and typing. This story is not 17 chapters long. This one is only 15 chapters long. It is posted in 4 parts. There will be links at the top and bottom of each of the posts. Here we need to find the previous books. So previous to this is At Convenience, wherever. So if you've picked up one of the books and you're like, oh, well, these are best read, as it says, they're best read in order because one book builds on top of the other. You can click to the book that you need to go to, so it makes it a little bit easier to find them. Trying to make it as easy as possible in a forum sort of reading setting to read all of the posts and do it all in order. Okay, so then we've got that. So now, got all that. Go to the next page. Again, paid members only. This time, though, we get to allow the members to be notified when this post is published. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to publish it, and there should be an email that gets sent out to members to let them know that this book is here for them to read. I don't need that preview. Thank you. I'll get rid of the little tag up here that says it's a preview. No, we don't need a preview. We actually need the real link. So I'm going to copy this link, and I'll leave that for now. I need to go back over to this post, the first one that I showed you that we were doing. It was the last set of chapters. I do need to put in that one parental disapproval tag so that it's there and it matches with the others. I sometimes don't get the match. Sometimes I forget what I had put on each of them, but I try to get them when I can to match. Okay, so then we've got that one. I won't need to do anything else with this post, so I am going to close it. 5 to 8, chapters 5 to 8, I do need to copy that link. I'll come back over to the post we're editing. 5 to 8. Put the link in there. It ended with a 3-2, right? Yeah, ended with a 3-2, so we did get the right one. Just sometimes, you think you've copied something and you haven't. That's why I try to remember what the last couple numbers are so that I can make sure that it's not that I didn't just paste in the same link that I had before. That was 8.6, so that's good. All right, so that is ready. Now what I need to do before I close this, and update it, is I need to come back here and I need to copy just this portion. Okay, so we copied that, Control C. Next, and we just save it. So that's all updated and ready. Has all the chapters there, so you can see how the arrow, swirl it around here. It's an arrow here, and then when I pull it down to chapters 5 to 8, it's a finger, which means there's a link there that you could click. And you could be taken to it. We don't need to go there right now. We are going to chapters 9 to 12. We are going to edit this post. We're going to paste in what we had copied from the other one, because those are the 2 sets of chapters that come before this. Now we're just going to copy this one because that's all we need of this. Next, and save. I should say we were done with this one. We can close that. And we were done with this one, so we can close that. Then we'll come over here. 5 to 8 is where we are. And we need to put in a link to chapters 1 to 4. So if you are on chapters 5 to 8 and you want to go back to 1 to 4, or you haven't read those yet, that is there for you. Okay. Next. And save. Oh, there was one thing I needed that first post for. I forgot about that. Okay, well, let's go to The Sensible Heart, chapters 1 through 4. I need that in a minute, because I forgot that we needed to do something. I'm going to go back to, should be the collections page. This is the collections page. If it loads. This is for Touches of Austin. You can buy the collection if you want to just read this collection and nothing else. As long as these posts are on Patreon, you have access to them. But if they're going to go away and I'm going to put it on Kindle Unlimited or something, then you would lose access to them. But until then, you would have access to them, and it's $5 to access those. Okay. So we've got chapters 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, and 13 to 15, which is good. Now we need to go to the end of book number 5. So there's book 4. So that this means this is the last chapter. I'm going to expand that. Edit post. And we have to go all the way down to, let's see, tropes that I had here. For convenient marriage of convenience, pregnant heroine, second chance romance, single father, touches of Austin, widower. Okay, so those are some of the tropes that are found in this book. Probably could have put redeemed heroine in that one too. I didn't. But she does turn out much better than you think she ever will, because she is horrible in the first few books of this series. Like Lucy Steele on steroids, or Lady Susan or someone, like one of the baddie bads. All right, so we go continue reading. So you continue reading, or no, that's not what I do here. Go to next book in series. All right. And the next book in the series is His Sensible Heart, which we just updated. So copy that link, come back over here, and add that link in. save it. And the heater, the heat pump, is still running. It's just a really cold day for it today. I should look on my phone and see what the temperature says. Now this will be in Celsius, so you'll have to convert it to Fahrenheit, but it's -9, I think it said. Feels like -9. It's -4, which is, 0 is 32 in Fahrenheit. 0 Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit, so it's below freezing by 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, anyway, what was I doing? Yep, I got the link there. Forgot what I was doing for a minute. It's dangerous when that happens. Okay, we'll save that. If I wanted to, I could notify members of the edit, but I don't need to notify them because they just got emailed about the first chapters of the other book. All right, let's see. Was there anything else I needed to do here? Nope, that's it. So there you have it. That is all that happens when I'm getting a book up onto Patreon for everyone to read. It takes a little bit of time. It's a little bit fiddly, but I've got a system figured out now that it goes fairly quickly. The first few books that I put up took quite a while because I was figuring out the system, but now that I've got the system figured, it's much better. So anyway, that is. Okay, I totally cut myself off as I was closing out the video. I hit the stop sharing because I thought it would just close the tab that I was on and continue recording. It doesn't. So I didn't want to just cut off mid-sentence. I don't even know what I was saying when I closed it. I did find out too that I hadn't plugged in my microphone. So the first part I recorded with the microphone. The second part is recorded with just my laptop's microphone. And then this part again, I actually did plug in the microphone this time. Anyway, that's our behind the scenes look for today. I hope that you enjoyed it, seeing just a little bit of the work that goes into being an author. All right, until next time.